Our next speaker, number two, is Carol. Carol has been a U.S. Toastmaster for over 4 years, served as our president. Now she's our VP of Education. She has been representing us in contests from the club level, area level, division level, and looking forward to going to the district this spring. She's been working on Capitol Hill for about 10 years. Let's welcome Carol. Her speech today is from her Pathways Dynamic Leadership, and it's on writing a speech with purpose. Her title, Improve the Information Interview. Let's welcome Carol. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Ping, I get another email. I'm at work. I get 300, 400 emails a day, but this is an email from a stranger, not a Nigerian prince, not a United Kingdom person who has news for me about a new lottery. No, it's a stranger who wants to meet for coffee. They're interested in a job on the Hill. When I first got to the Hill, this was a very weird thing. I worked for nonprofits for many years, and strangers did not ever want to meet me for coffee. But I learned on the Hill there was an expectation that you would give people time and mentor back. But these got to be very strange meetings. At the time, I was working for Keith Ellison, a very high-profile member of Congress, and I was getting about 6 to 8 requests a week. And they all were pretty much, you'd have the meeting, they would open up with a monologue, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes of their goals and their experience and what they wanted. And it would just all pour out. It was not succinct at all. And then they would pause, we'd both be a little dazed. And I'd say, how can I help you? And they'd say, I don't know what to do next. And then they'd ask me a couple perfunctory questions like, how'd you get to the Hill? Or how do you like working on the Hill? And then we get to the true purpose of why they wanted to meet me. They wanted to enlist me as their personal placement office. They would ask me of all the different offices and what jobs were available, and can I help them get into this office or that office? And then we'd end the meeting 20, 30 minutes later, and I wouldn't hear from them. They rarely send thank you notes, but I would hear from them finally when they had applied to an office and they wanted me to send an email to someone in that office championing them as a wonderful person to hire. I realized this isn't working for either one of us. I don't have 2 or 3 hours a week to meet with strangers, and they want something from me I'm not providing, which is championing you for a job. I thought there's got to be a better way. So first I changed my approach. When these emails came in, instead of saying, sure, love to meet, I'd say, sure, love to meet. Working on the Hill is wonderful. To make better use of our time, please look at my LinkedIn profile. Here's a link. And the bills I worked on for my bosses. Here's some links. And let me know what in particular you think I could be helpful in your career path. Please be specific. And I'd also encourage you to look at other ways to network on the Hill, including the Women's Congressional Staff Association, or attend a U.S. Senate Toastmasters meeting. 7 times out of 10, that would be the end. I would never hear from them again. But a few people wrote back and wrote, I don't have time to do all that. And I thought, well, then you're really not ready for the Hill, because the most important thing about the Hill is FaceTime. FaceTime is very, very hard to get. We are so busy. And whenever you get FaceTime with a principal or staff, that is the small amount of what you're doing. The big amount of what you're doing is the prep work. So a 20-minute meeting should be at least 60 to 80 minutes of prep work of what exactly you want out of that meeting and what your asks are. The people who did follow up, though, I got much better meetings. There were folks who were wanting to talk to me about their banking experience or their Wall Street experience and how to talk about it in an interview. I wasn't getting any of the folks who really wanted to talk about healthcare or transportation or climate, things I have no expertise in. So we weren't wasting each other's time. And because I was encouraging people to participate in other networks, I was able to champion them more. For example, a US Senate Toastmasters member, I'm going to call Anna to protect her privacy, she and I met at a Women's Congressional Staff Association networking. It was one of those speed networking events where you change tables every 10 minutes. And I encouraged folks to come to Toastmasters. She joined, gave speeches, evaluated speeches, led table topics, even served as an officer, and actually even came to our Fort DuPont community cleanup event and picked up trash with me for a couple hours. So she was really awesome. And whenever jobs came available, I would let her know. And in fact, when the Stennis Foundation was looking for emerging leaders, I reached out to her and said, Anna, would you want to apply as an emerging leader to Stennis, which is a congressional fellowship program that's kind of prestigious? I'm a fellow of a former class, and I can nominate people, and I'd love to champion you. I know your work. I know how good you are. And so instead of just sending random emails, blanketing emails to people on the Hill, take the time and figure out what you want to know and from whom, and plan those approaches in a way that get the best for you and for them. And then think of ways that you're able to build long-term relationships for people who can champion you, who know your skills. And US Senate Toastmasters is one way to do that. Madam Toastmaster.